Here we are at another Olympic Games. Can you talk to us about the growth of Winter Olympic sports in China and how much has just changed in even the last 4 years?
In the last 4 years, China has made tremendous investments in sport participation, growing the game with ice rinks, growing the game with building the capacity for participants to partake in Olympic sports throughout the year. And so one of the most exciting aspects of it is the fact that it's grown 317% over the past 4 years, which is a tremendous number when you consider that Beijing 2022 was a couple of 4 years ago. And so the build up to Beijing 2022, the Chinese government made a tremendous investment in infrastructure that led to participation rates increasing, but more importantly, the value of winter sports being an investment opportunity for not only the citizens, but also for sport competitors. And so this tremendous investment has led to an increased amount of success for Chinese athletes when it came to the Olympics.
So we're seeing increases in the numbers of people skiing, snowboarding, some of these, I think, newer sports for China.
Yes, Eileen Gu's success has been tremendous with the half pike, and the ability to have athletes that are transcending international competitions, winning gold medals, but also intermittently winning the World Cup events has been a major piece of the success for the winter sports. And the investments by the Chinese government have been tremendous towards supporting these investment opportunities for their athletes.
We know that even when China hosted the Summer Games,
Yes.
they made a big point of using some of the existing infrastructure for their Winter Games. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the reuse, the sustainability of some of the infrastructure that they previously had or even built for their Winter Games to last generations?
There was fear that China was going to have white elephants after Beijing 2008, but the truth is that they've been able to reuse 90% of their facilities for Beijing 2022, and this has been a legacy initiative that has impacted Paris 24 and also for Milan Cortina 2026. And so, seeing that these investment opportunities in infrastructure can be sustainable for multiple locations. Beijing 2008 was the epicenter, the beginning of that. And so being able to reuse 90% of the facilities for the 2022 games was fantastic.
We know that there is a lot of money spent for hosting the Winter Games, but there's a lot of money also when it comes to sponsorships. And then there are other industries that grow out of these big sporting events. What have you seen in terms of growth with some of these other industries related to winter sports in China?
The average investment for an athlete's training is up to about $100,000 per athlete now. And so many athletes, to be professional, will need external endorsements, external opportunities for funding. And the fact that the 2022 games for Beijing were able to raise about $6 billion in economic impact was a major benefit because that was offset by many, for not just public funds, but also many international sponsorship opportunities. And so many organizations, particularly Visa, were able to invest in athletes to offset a lot of the cost. And so as the games continue to grow, and I almost say the professionalization of Olympic sports and Olympians, the fact that they can find the investment opportunities external to their day jobs has been a major change in most recent years.
We're also seeing this growth of perhaps organically of companies creating sportswear or gear when it comes to supporting these different winter sports that perhaps didn't exist before.
Yeah, a major investor, Nike, has brought out many new augmented winterized gear. And then that growth has seen itself, the market grow throughout China, throughout Asia, to many different competitor brands. And even with footwear with Li Ning, based out of Asia. And so you're seeing many investment opportunities for sport products. You're seeing investment opportunities for the growth of the Olympic sports, and you're seeing an investment opportunity that wasn't there 10 years ago. And so even if we go back 4 years to Beijing 2022, the growth to 2026, Nike's investment is tenfold. And so Nike, Adidas, Puma, they're all normally investing heavily in Summer Olympics, but the Winter Olympic market, the outdoor gear market, has been a tremendous boon for the sportswear industry.
We also know that part of watching any kind of Olympics, but particularly as we look forward to these Winter Games in Italy, it's about the storylines. It's all the,
Yes.
the people and the personal stories, as well as maybe some of the sports that don't get as much attention as some of the more popular ones. When it comes to Team China, are there any stories or sports that you're going to be watching for that will be different than 2022?
Different than 2022, a major sport is curling, which was a niche Canadian sport, but has seen itself grow and more competition. And so I'm looking forward to seeing Team China compete in the curling exercises and the curling competitions. I still think Aileen Gu is going to be the storyline for this Olympics for Team China, because she'll be a major gold medal competitor. But for me personally, it's curling, because for me, it's one of the fastest growing Olympic sports. And I do believe that it's going to be a competition that will get primetime slots this year for the Olympics.
One kind of interesting thing that people notice when they watch Olympic Games is they'll see a national team and they'll see a coach from a different country. Yes. We see that primarily a lot with Summer Olympic Games, but what about the Winter Games and these winter sports? Is there, do we see a lot of coach sharing or coach hiring from other countries coming in to coach, let's say, the Chinese national team and vice versa?
Traditionally, I would say it's less occurring than in the summer sports, but due to sport diplomacy initiatives, there have been an uptick and an increase in coach team sharing, or I would say almost technology sharing between different countries and between different national teams. And so I would say during my work with the French national team for the French Football Federation, there's been a lot of international sport diplomacy efforts. And China is on the horizon as being one of the locations that they'll join forces for future games, for future Olympic opportunities, with the resources that are available between the French national teams and, of course, the Chinese national teams. And so I believe through sport diplomacy, this could be an area that could be a major benefit for China in the future.
And that's such an interesting term that you don't really hear a lot, sport diplomacy.
It's one of my favorite terms, because we have built out our program at NYU, major aspects and investments into sport diplomacy. And so we have built out a model that allows us to bring students from New York to Shanghai, bring students from New York to Abu Dhabi, to be able to understand the different cultural differences and navigating the diplomatic ties between two countries. And I believe that this is the best way for our students to become global citizens and to embrace the culture when they go to Shanghai, when they go to Abu Dhabi, as they grow in their careers as sport practitioners.
And it's because it's not just about being the best at something. You're working across cultures and borders. There are a lot of nuances involved.
Yes, my favorite is that I call the students, they become culturally agile. And they're able to maneuver through the different cultural differences between China, the US, Abu Dhabi, UK, France, Buenos Aires, all of the different locations that NYU has amazing sport diplomacy relationships. And they bring those aspects back to their career as they set forth to become global citizens, but also working in a global sport industry.
Dr. Kelly, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you as well.